Nothing like an amazing cup of coffee at Terminal 2. Really exciting. We're bound for Bornholm in Denmark. I'm really looking forward to this interview. But what we need is a lovely cup of coffee, which we're having together, making the program ready to go. Welcome. We are in Bornholm, which is an island off the mainland of Denmark, and I'm really happy to be able to be speaking to this amazing lady, Damaris. Damaris is a healer and has many other ways in which to help human beings. Let us talk to Damaris and discover her work. Damaris, thank you for speaking to me. Damaris, I'd like to begin by talking about a quote from Rumi, the Eastern philosopher. Rumi said, "The wound is the place where the light enters the heart." How do you heal other people's wounds?
The first thing is to meet them where they are in their life.
Yes.
And make them feel comfortable. And on that way, you go into their room. You know, there is only one language. It's love. And in that room, we can all talk together and understand each other. And so that's why it's very important to meet people where they are and not where you want them to be. So that's the very most important beginning to meet other lives. I show them the way by looking from their eyes,
Yes.
Telling them about their mind and telling them about their thoughts inside themselves.
Yes.
And tell them why they are acting the way they do, because if I'm just showing the way, I'm only showing some part of the symptom. You have to do something to get on the right road, you know, on the right way. Yes.
So, is there a technique that people listening would understand? Do you use meditation to get them going? Do you give them energy? How do you, what technique?
That depends on...
Yes, that's good.
Now I understand your question, Feroz. You're trying hardly. Yes, I understand now.
Good.
Because, you know, it's very... actually, it's not easy for me to tell, because
that's
when you are born with this, it would be the same asking you, why are you eating? You would tell me, because I'm hungry, yes. But why are you hungry? Well, I'm just hungry, you know. Because you are born with it.
Yes.
And but I will try.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you know, it depends on what kind of a person sitting here, and what kind of problems, and what does he need from me? What is his question?
Yes.
And there are many ways I can tell them about their life, how it is, their thoughts, as I told you before. I can heal them. Talking first, then heal the symptom after.
So you would be able to see beyond what other people can see, you think? Because,
behind, yes, inside.
That's what I meant.
Yes.
How?
I'm not talking about deaths and,
No.
and accidents. Never. No. You know, I'm not a witch.
No.
Telling about the future.
No,
And that's
no.
not the part of
No,
it.
no.
I'm telling them the thoughts they have been thinking.
Yes.
I'm the mirror of their soul, you know.
Okay.
That's what I am. And that's why many people feeling comfortable. And that's why it's very easy to find out what he needs. Is it just some little words, or is it a long way we are going to have together?
Yes.
Or is he going to be healed?
Yes.
Maybe making meditation, showing them their breathing. There are many ways.
Okay, so you
Yes.
use a range of techniques.
Yoga, yes,
A range of
yes.
techniques to mend them. Is that right?
To make them contact with themselves, because many people are not in contact with themselves. They get too far away from themselves, you know.
Okay. So it's really contacting them with their own self and understand them, for them to understand their own problems and heal them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is to learn them about their mind, because everything is going on in your mind. You know, that's the gate.
Yes.
So when they are having a session with me, I'm talking a lot about their minds and how they act from the minds, because you have to see your mind as two horses. You are sitting in the car, you know, what you call that in English, two horses here, and this...
Cart.
Yes, cart.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And they are your mind, and this is your what you're doing. Okay. This, you know, to the horses. So when the horses are getting worried, you don't have to do this and shout at them and get angry, you know, because then they will be more
agitated.
Yes, right. You know, many people get stressed when they cannot have control.
Yeah.
And that's hard for the body. So you can make disease if it's go for a long time.
Yeah. Stress.
But if you try to understand, you have to be patient.
Yeah.
First, you have to learn to breathe, be patient, and take time out of your day, and make a room for yourself.
Yes.
Then you can feel yourself just by breathing slowly up and down, and just sit. And every time you know, a thought is coming up, it's okay. Many thoughts will come, even when you're making meditations.
Yes.
No problem. But you are not just going. You should not analyze it. You just let it go like a cloud, like this. And another one will come. You just like this. Then you can be everywhere and not be touching by the world. You can sit in the war, you can sit everywhere. The camera can move around, he can stand on his head. You will not see it, you will not feel it, because you are here. Yeah. And there's only this cloud passing.
So everything is impermanent.
Yourself.
Everything is impermanent, really, what you're saying. It just passes by.
Yes, yes. So the point is, how much energy are you using trying to have control of anything that is just like this anyway? You can't do anything about all these clouds. But if you are sitting in the situation right here, right now, you can handle it. And then you have to let it go. Why do we pray? We pray because we need help. We need help to see, to find, you know. But why are we asking the same question all the time? Why are we asking in the same prayer all the time? I think it was heard the first time. Okay. So, yes.
So you are saying that everything is impermanent. it goes. Actually, you can allow the things to just pass by.
Yes.
If you cling to it, if you hold on to it,
Yes.
then it doesn't go by.
No.
And so you allow people to go into their minds and allow the
Yes.
problem or the
Yes.
issue to just pass by.
Because you know, what you call the future, behind...
the past?
The past, yes, the very past. It's not existing anymore.
No.
It's no existence. And we're keeping it alive by thinking about it. And it also sometimes makes us going on wrong way, you know, forgiveness, how hard it can be to forgive people. That's why, that's because they are thinking about the past and forgetting to be in the very much now, in this moment, you know, and feel and be here. So the past will take the place for the now. Then you will see nothing. You cannot live in the past. You can be here, and the future don't exist.
I think you described it really well in your book. You said if you are half physically here and half psychologically in the future, then how can you be properly in the present?
Yeah, half life.
I think that if you'd like to explain that, because for me, personally, it's really an important feature to enjoy this moment, to be present. And people forget that because we live in a busy world.
Yes.
We're always planning for the future.
Yes.
So do you want to say something about living in the present? How can you do that?
Here. Yeah. Yes.
And enjoying the flowers as they grow, or looking at the sunrise.
Okay.
Or, yes?
You know, it's very simple question.
Okay.
Actually, it is. It is so simple, so it's very difficult for people to live it out, you know. Yes. You know, children are playing with this, you know, what you call this?
Seesaw.
They're sitting here.
Seesaw.
Yes, good. So if you're the person here,
Okay.
and something happened in your life, you're standing here, something is happening, going down. You can stay like this, in zero.
Right in the middle.
Yes, and it's going more down. Are you going with it down? You go down. You have to climb up to get it in here again, like this.
Understood.
So every time it goes, you just stay here and just let it. Because when it comes into you, you can do something about it. You cannot do something about it here because you're down. And if you go up here, you can fall down. Yeah. So you can just stay in the middle. In the book, I describe also the hurricane, the eye of the hurricane.
Yeah.
Always stay there until it's finished. Then you can see, okay, what happened? What can I do? What can I not do about it? So it's very simple. Always stay in the balance. And don't get mad. Don't get sad. Try to understand. Here, the zero.
Yes.
That's the point of everything, the balance. If you got a trumpet and you want to play a beautiful melody, if you blow too hard, not good. And if you blow too softly, you can't hear it. But if you blow right in the balance of this trumpet and get it again and gets into the trumpet, you can make a beautiful melody and people will come and listening to you, maybe.
But in this present world with so much turmoil, it's not so easy to stay in the middle.
No.
And you need, in my opinion, tools. You need some help, like meditation or yoga, or some system to keep us grounded and keep us in perspective. It would be really useful. I understand the point, but it would be very useful to allow our listeners and viewers to just give them a little bit of a pointer. What happens? Should we meditate for 2 minutes? Should we, for example, another point you made is about anger. You know, every time you stop anger, think that you're growing a flower until you have a sea of flowers. I think you put it really well.
But when you're angry, you cannot think about a flower. It would provoke you. If someone come, look at this, they would say, but you are angry, so you would just do this because you want to be understood. You want people to understand why you're angry, you know. And that's the problem. You want people to understand you, so you forget to understand yourself. Why did you get angry? Because you cannot The problem is that you are thinking more about people around you. And they cannot be the reason for your anger. You can let them be the reason, you know.
Very good.
Yes. So you have to think this way. What can I do to be a better person together with people, and not what can they do so I can feel better?
I understand.
That's very simple.
I understand. The principle is beautiful, but what is the technique?
The technique is
You see,
training
yes.
all the time.
Good.
You have to train your mind. You have to make a decision. If you don't make a decision, you know, many people say, oh, I have been thinking, I must be better to this, you know, I must be better to that, and oh no, I did it again, oh no, you know, that's not good enough.
Okay.
You have to make a decision. I want to change my way how I'm thinking. I want to change my way how I'm using my mind. I will change my anger to something I can use for good.
So I ask you again, just one more time. How do they train their minds?
Meditation,
Okay.
praying, mantra, singing mantras, but you have to do it. You know, that's the whole point. Of course,
nothing happens in life unless you take the first step.
If you just do it when you come to your teacher, it will not help.
I don't mean that.
I know, but I'm telling the important things. That people go to many things to learn.
Yeah, classes or
Yes,
courses
right.
or whatever.
Yes, many things, and there's lots of good lamas and teachers, and you know, many good people are teaching, and you can learn a lot of them from them. But the problem is that what's most important is that if you got a gift, you have to make place for this gift. If you just put it in like this with all your other stuff, it disappears.
But
so you have to get in. You have to decide to make a room for meditation, to make your practicing, so you can take the walk.
Yeah. So you think meditation is one of the key factors that helps?
It could be for someone.
Yes.
For someone.
What are the factors? What are the
yoga
techniques?
is very good because you're having everything in yoga. You're having the physical part, and the very important things in yoga is the breathing.
Yes.
And your mind. Because actually we are not doing yoga. Yoga is something coming up in you when you are breathing right, having control on your breath. And when you are in the position of something and you let go in the spirit, that's yoga. Then yoga comes. For me, it's the dance with God, yoga, because everything gets in this.
But you're also really saying that breathing is a key factor in all these things.
It's very important because if you only breathe to here, you are a half person and you get ill, really. If you get breathing here, we have a lot of energy centers here and they are moving around. Chakras, yes. And they are moving and when you want them to move better, you can make some special breathing methods.
So really, actually, what you are saying, in a nice, very descriptive way, is a lot to do with your awareness of breathing, to allow you to relax, to allow you to get in touch with your own mind and your own body and your own soul. It's a good roadway.
Yes, we got it inside here. We are a Bible, you know. This is a Bible yourself. Everything is here, right? The universe is inside you and out
and
around you.
Well.
You're always a part of it, and it is always a part of you. So it's a big book to read and to learn from if you want to.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you don't listen to it and want action all the time, you don't feel it.
And do you think that when you are in that state of mind, of relaxed and breathing and, you know, getting in touch with yourself, do you get some divine help? Do you get some help from the world around you? The universe helps you also heal yourself?
You know, it's always difficult for me to answer that question because it's everything. You know, for me, God is everything. It's the universe, it's the energy from the inside of Earth, Mother Earth, and it's the everything outside from far away. It's everything. We are a part of it. Every things moving around you is a part of the floor, the sky.
We are atoms
everything.
anyway.
We are having, yes.
Yeah, atoms. You're made of atoms.
It's very simple.
Yeah. But do you, as a person, able to source a bit more energy or other energy sources?
To control it, you think?
No, because you're able to teach people.
Yes.
And I mean, I couldn't do that. I can teach them maybe accounting or something. You teach them how to heal themselves. So do you have access? Do you have a connection?
To everything.
To some special source where you can bring it in and help people?
Yes.
Can you describe what that is?
It's difficult because...
Will you try?
Yes. You know, things is going so fast, so I cannot describe it. If you ask me about a person, example,
okay,
some from a family or something,
okay,
and you then I got the pictures and I'm just talking like this about this person and telling you about the most important things about him or her life, and it's better for me not to know something about it. And I think what's going on is that I become the mirror for the person. I am what you want me to be. So the universe and God and everything decides what I'm going to do to help the person, and I'm just opening for it. You understand?
I understand. Yes, you are like a channel.
I'm not thinking about it.
You're
because
like a channel.
Yes, you can say that, but actually I'm never thinking about it because it has been like this. I have been a part of the nature since I was 3. I slept with my horses, and you know, there's a funny thing, because when you're asking me how to do it, when I was a little one, 3 years, I loved to sleep with my horses. I climb out the window at home and go out to the horses and sleep with them. And there was a stallion. You don't go out to a stallion. But I did. And I was lying behind his back, you know, because I didn't knew he was danger. There was a danger. And I climb on the back on a 2 years old horse. You don't do that because they are not finished there.
They're not ready for you.
No, but because I didn't know, because I was not thinking, it just
happened.
Yes.
And you did
and
not
that's
fear.
the point. I don't think, I don't plan. I sometimes even don't look in my calendar, see who is coming before they are sitting here. I'm saying, oh, this is him now, and I go out. That's better. That's the best part of. That's the best way for me to work.
With instinct.
I'm right here, now, here. That so.
I was going to ask you actually that. You say you grew up with this, but was this in a moment in time when you had an explosion, when you said, oh, I think I have something special in me? Or did you begin to realize that gently?
I think I thought everyone has it like this. I was wondering why people were lying so much when I was a little, why they were drinking, why they were having so much problems in their life. And I was thinking why they were lying for themselves and the people around. That makes me very sad, but I didn't want to be a part of it. I have not always been a very nice person all the time. No, I have been taking apples from the neighbors. No. Yes, I have been a naughty one. Yes,
I stole
of course,
some lemon one day.
Yes, it's very funny. But so the point is, when I was 7, until I was 7, I thought everyone felt like this. But I was thinking sometimes that there was something different. So when I get 7, I find this bird, and he was lying dead, you know. And the other children who was with me, they were taking him up and say, oh, he's dead and something, you know. And normally I took the animals up. It not happened all the time, but many times. And I just asked, please, you know, and go into a special prayer I learned from me.
For yourself?
Yes. I get teaching all the time. I can tell you, if you remember to ask me about that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I took this bird and I did what I used to do, and it, you know, like this, and it fly away. And the children standing around me, they run away. They get very scared.
Like
and
magic.
One was standing and looking and asked, "What did you do?" "I don't know," I said. I didn't knew what I was doing. It just happened. And that's the way I like it best. I don't have to understand why it's happened, because everyone can do it,
But
you know.
that time you felt something had happened.
On that time, I find out that I was different by my thinking and doing. And then it became a problem, because I was thinking about how I did what I was not thinking before, but after.
So you had to come to terms with it.
So I got a lot of problems in my life to find my place. And I could not find my place. I began to lie to people and find stories, you know, not about what I was doing, but about the normal life in their life.
Because you wanted to be like them.
I want to be like them, so I could be accepted. Yeah. Until one day, I don't remember when, and I find out that I was very alone in this world. And it was now very important for me to be much more closer to my horses. My parents were divorced, and I was not much home. So my growing up is very special. I will not tell, because I don't want to hurt anyone, because it was necessary. Because one thing is to do things I do, but I have tried nearly everything. I have been trying a lot of things in my life, and that was a part of the teaching, and I would never be without it. Not a second, even when the pain was
severe.
Yeah.
So
there's another point by that.
Yes.
What I really find out is how necessary the pain is for the human and the people to feel and understand, because if they don't get the pain, it's very difficult for them to understand how important it is to make a change. Because if you don't do the change, the pain will come again on another way. You know, it's coming back.
That's why I opened our discussion by saying that the wound is a place where the light enters the heart.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what Rumi said. Then at what stage in your life, now you obviously realized at a young age you were slightly different, then you had to come to terms with it. It must be a difficult job, as you say. Your own personal circumstances were very dramatic. When did you decide to begin to devote yourself to help other people? Because that's
that happens. So that's what's very early. Because you will maybe laugh now. Because
I can.
I think it's funny myself. But what happened was, I love this superheroes films. I like movies, Superman and you know, heroes.
Okay.
Because they were helping people. And I think it was very natural, what you call, it was very simple what they were doing. Well, I could not fly on that, but I could go out of my body and pray, and I could do other things. So I decide to, one day I will help people. But something happens, yes. I have not told to many, but when I was 25, 26 years, 25, I get divorced. And in the middle of that, I live in an apartment. I was sitting in the kitchen. It was not funny, you know.
You were down.
I was very alone.
Yeah.
And but I also knew that it was necessary that I have to make a decision, because I could not the normal life. I could not make a life on the normal way.
No, you were not normal.
I need to, you know, I need to do something, because I could not live in what I was in. I have a beautiful husband, really. He's a very good man. He's still living, and I have a beautiful son.
I know.
Yes. So it hurts me that I have to hurt him, of course. And but one evening I was sitting, and it was a tough time for me because I didn't have. Yes, I have a job at that time, and something happened to my eyes because I was pushing too hard inside. So I lost my job, and I have this apartment, and I was sitting in the night, only with a candle, just sitting like this, you know. I was sitting on this chair, my legs down here, and sitting out, you know, like this and this, nearly sleeping, but not sleeping. The middle, yes, some kind of meditation. And then a light came up off the ground. He looks like, in Danish, Holger Danske. It's a very big man, you know. In the stories, you would say it was God with his with all this, you know, and he was looking down like this. And that's happened. This big one came up, and,
like light,
and there was light everywhere. And he took me up like this, you know, and said, "Now I'm giving you all the love that you should have until now and to the future." And he did like this. And now you're going to help people. Just do what's showing. You understand?
I understand.
Yeah. And he put me down, and I was sitting, and tears, of course. I was very, what can you say? I was very touched.
Yes.
And I was very quiet for many days, because many things happened before this, right before this. And I just let go. And then I decide to do something. And then I decide I will help people. So I ask some places, how do I get started and everything. And I put a sign on my wall. And the television came, and the newspaper came 5 days after I opened, and a half years after that, I have 2 years, close to 2 years waiting time to come to me.
So
it was running very fast, and I get very popular, and I didn't like it. And I was writing every day in my diary.
Yes.
Please, God, help me not to, let my ego growing, but my heart be bigger.
Very difficult.
It was very difficult for me, because people were, running after me, shouting, "Hey, Damaris, you should help me," you know. And many television were calling, and newspapers, and I didn't like that time. I didn't like that part of my life.
Because you had to control your ego.
Really. Yes. And I still have an ego, of course.
Yeah,
that's the part of the mind, you know.
I know, but it's how big it is.
Yes, no, yes. You have to eliminate it, yes.
So I'm just going to ask you a little bit about some commercial things, you know. When you look at your website, you have, you charge for what you do. Mm-hmm. Is there a reason for that? I mean, can you reconcile helping people and charging them for it?
Because if I was out working here in Denmark, you cannot live without working.
That's okay.
And if I was out and working, people could not come to me, because then I will not be here for them. So I have to be here, and they have to pay. So, I think it's okay that money are going around, but it may not take the place for the most important things. And I should not maybe tell on this, but sometimes I have children and poor families coming here where the children have cancer. I heal them for free, of course. Money is going. I'm not thinking about money.
Anyway, I wanted to ask you only to clarify.
It's not so important for me, but it's necessary.
I mean, really, the main point is that people can't afford it. You help them anyway.
Yes, my price has been the same in nearly 10 years.
And so everybody can understand that you need to have a facility where people can come. I only ask you this question.
I know, no problem.
Now, the other question, which is for lighter touch. We'll go back to more serious things again in a minute, but you do say you're a clairvoyant. In other words, you can see the future.
I'm a seer. I'm a looker.
Looker.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's, although on your website it says clairvoyant.
I know, because
okay.
that's the word people understand,
That's why.
what that means.
So
yes.
just for a little bit of light, I know that's not the main thing in
Yeah,
your life
yeah.
by any means, but it's something which is very attractive to people, because people, you know, people are fascinated by knowing the future. In a way, of course, it's like cheating in exams, you know. So how does that happen?
Yes. You know, when people ask me something of their life, I'm telling them. But I also tell them that I'm not speaking about the future, I'm guiding them to the future. Because you are learning on your road, and I will not let you jump over these very important things that makes you to the point. You have to learn. And if I'm just telling them the results, they will not learn. So that's why I sometimes ask people, why are you asking? Well, I'm just curious. They say, you know, of course they're curious. I understand that. Yes, but why are you asking? So if they, and they still say, well, I'm just curious. Curious?
Curious,
yes. Then I say, then find another more important question to ask me about, because it's your time here right now, so it is important what you get with you from here.
And also, if you know the future, I don't think it's a good life.
No, it's not,
It's
because you have to
complicated.
learn. And you know, people get glad when they found out something. Wow, they say, oh, this is good, you know, oh, that's why. That's important that you find out yourself, because you are growing in this.
Yes.
If everyone is telling you what to do, you don't learn anything.
But again, a little bit for people to enjoy is how are you able to look at a person and find out about them?
I don't know.
It just happens.
Yes.
I mean, is it
There's no-
is it an angel, or is it energy, or is there spirits? You don't know.
I can't tell you.
You can't tell me. It's
No.
a source of energy, obviously, some sort of gift, some sort of.
I don't know.
You don't know.
No. It's just, I'm
Happen.
just doing it, yes.
Okay.
So, yes.
No,
you know, many people tells me that, oh, you're really tough, they say, you know. I don't want to be tough. It's, you know, I think everyone can learn it. It's about where you're putting your energy, your focus.
Yeah. I'd like to talk about your book quickly. I read the English translation. I think it's like a guidebook.
Yes.
For the emotion.
Oh yes, yes,
and
it is.
I hope Damaris is Vien Hiem, which means road home.
The book that speaks to you.
The book that speaks to you
Yes.
in subtitles. Please have it published in English quickly, because it really is like a, you know, manual of the questions that every human being asks. I started looking at the book. I said, oh, wow, I wanted the answer to this. I wanted the answer to this. So I hope you will publish it.
Thank you.
Because it is a beautiful book.
Thank you.
Now, may I just take a few things of the book, because we could spend the whole day talking about it.
No,
but I'd like to ask you this. I mean, there's poetry in the book.
Oh, yes.
And I like that very much.
Good.
I'm just going to ask you one, which, just to begin with, it says, you know, someday my light will burn down.
Oh, yeah, the candle.
And then, in my soul silently I know that my life of God's flame will burn in another place of spirit. Now, you know, immediately it raises questions. What happens to our spirit? Where do we come from spiritually, and where do we go? Can you give us some guideline on that?
Yes, there's a short one and a little long. I will tell you both.
Tell me
I
the
shall
short
tell
one.
you when I have been passing. I shall tell you, yes, what happened to the spirit.
Yes.
Yes, that was the short one. But, you know, if you have a glass of water, and the water in the glass is your soul. So the glass is your body, and the soul is here inside.
Water.
The water, yes, is the water. The soul is the water.
Okay.
Yes. And when you drop it, the glass will crash. But the water will go down or go up to the air. It will move on.
Very good.
Yes. So that's what happened with our spirits. It's moving.
I mean, that's why you say we'll burn in another place of spirit?
Yes. I'll go to another place.
Yeah. Find another body, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so on. It
yes,
continues.
it's going on. You know, sometimes people recognize each other.
Yeah.
They think they have met each other before, so that could maybe be from another life.
Okay.
You know, it's not something I discuss very much because it's just like it is.
I know, but people are very curious.
Oh yes, they are.
I mean, the next question would be, is there heaven or a hell?
Yes.
That sort of question.
Yes.
Is there such a thing, or
yes.
where do we pay our? I mean, how does karma work in one's life?
Yeah.
Is it a heaven and hell karma, or is it just you pay for your?
Yes, of course.
You tell me what you think.
I think we should be right here and now, not in the past.
Yeah, and not in the future.
No.
And do you think that if you do good things, then good things happen to you?
Mm-hmm. It will come back to you. Everything you send out will come back to you. There is, the life is a mirror of your soul. So when you things you are doing, it's very important how you are doing it. And
the intention.
Yes, the reason why you are doing it. That's a part of the training of the mind, to ask yourself all the parts, all the way, all the time. Ask yourself. That's a practice, actually. Why am I doing this? Why am I thinking this? If I'm going to call this person, why am I calling this person? I want him to be. I need to tell him something about me. I'm not calling him because he needs it. You understand? It's the ego. So I'm all the
always
time.
Always thinking about yourself.
Yes. Is it my ego now, or is it
something
really
helpful to him?
Precisely.
So really, you're saying that we must examine ourselves,
right,
and make sure our intentions are always
all the
good.
time, all the life,
and then probably it becomes a habit.
Yeah. Be one. Be in the zero.
Yeah.
The balance.
Yeah. And again on karma, I ask you that. Yes, I think we do things, good things happen to us. Why do they happen to us?
Because you send it out, it will come back. So, as I describe in your book, it maybe will not. If you, if I can tell you a little story here.
Yes, sure.
Yes, a little one. You know, there's a butler, and he's making ready for people coming to eat.
Yeah.
And he dropped a fork. What you call this?
A fork.
Yes.
Yeah, on the floor.
Yes, right. And now he see there are two persons sitting in the same room and having breakfast when he's doing ready. So he take this up and do this and put it into the dirty things and take a new one. Yes. Next time he do it again, but now he's alone.
See.
So what's he doing now? So you see, that's the point. Are you acting the good way when people are looking at you, or are you doing it also when you're alone?
Oh, I like this story.
Right.
Very good story.
And that's the point of everything you're doing. Why are you doing what you're doing?
And you're doing it because you want to do it, not because other people are impressed by it or whatever.
Right.
I think you really are saying that every solution lies within yourself. And it all arises because you can be honest with yourself, you can be reflective, look into yourself.
Yes.
And when you act on consideration for other people.
Yeah.
So you're improving as a human being.
Right.
I think. That's
it's very simple. It is very simple because people want me to be something very special and very... I just want to be very normal sitting here because I cannot do things that you can do everything I'm doing. It's how you're doing it, how you're thinking when you're doing it, and how much do you want to do it. But you're very good at what you're doing, sitting here and asking people and show the world people's life and teaching them. You're a teacher too, because you decide what is good for the world. And I am teaching on my way. So every time we show a good part of the world, you bring a message a good message out to the world.
I think it's...
So that's another part of what you're doing. When you give a message to people, what kind of message are you giving them? Are you giving them something they need that they can use for something good in their life? Or are you just telling them because you need to tell them?
I think you have said all the things you've said, and the way you have said them actually have been most helpful. I think all the answers, according to you, lie within yourself and within your character. I think that's what you're saying. So you build your character and you will make your own destiny. I think is that right? We may need some help to, by meditating.
Yes, it's possible for everyone. Yeah. You know, everyone can make a difference. Yes. Everyone has something to bring to the world. It's not about what can I get from the world, from life. What can I give to the life? And it's possible for everyone, Feroz.
To get a contribution.
There's no lines. You can just go.
I have to ask you another question. I mean, there are so many questions, but we will run out of time. And the other question again in your book, is about the fear of doing new things. I think it was again Rumi who said, he said, "We have given you wings. Why do you crawl through life?"
Yes, that's true. He's very right. Because
you describe it in a really nice way. You say that it really is a fear. I wish you could explain that for 1 minute, because if people can throw away their fears, they can have a happier life.
Oh yes, of course.
Please say something about that.
Yes. About fear, but actually you make your fear inside yourself. Actually, it's not because what's happening. It is what's happening inside you when something is happening. And when things happen, you have a reaction on it. And that reaction came from the past. Because there are two things in that. Yeah. Your mind and your body remember everything. We have something here in our brain that remember everything. So every time you maybe are in a situation where you're losing control, the body says, "I can feel no control here, danger." The brain said to the body.
Fight
and the body, and then it sends signal, danger, danger, and you do this. You can be angry.
You fight or you flight.
You can run away or do something. Yes, you're fighting against it. Yeah. But or you can just sit and take it easy and watching it and let control go. Yeah. Many people want control. They think they have control, but you don't. Yeah.
I think it's bringing the past into the present causes a bit of a problem, because we bring our prejudices and our fears from our past, and that holds us from going forward.
Right.
I think
that's what
you're saying.
The things you have been living in the past, and when you recognize something from the past, it's maybe something you should do something about inside yourself. If it is showing up all the time, the same problem, and make fear inside you, you have to do something about it, because it's standing in the it's standing in the way for walking forward. So, but you can use it for good, if you want to. Sorry, I can talk all the time.
I understand. Now I'm going to. I feel we're running out of time, but I want to give you a minute or so to really tell the viewers, and you can look in there if you like, and tell them, I wouldn't say a recipe, but at least some words which will bring them happiness. One little thing they can do themselves, one change of habit, one thought that could make people happy, make themselves happier people.
Then you have to get free from yourself.
Okay, how do you do that?
Okay, you have to release yourself from your mind. not let your mind control what you're doing. That's the way. It's very simple, because if you're not in your mind all the time, you're released.
So you're really saying, look at yourself from the outside in, almost?
No, I'm telling people to get free and not live in what they want it to be, but how it is to be.
But I think that would be difficult for people.
I didn't say that.
No, meaning then show them.
It is
then
difficult.
No,
Okay,
then
it's a
show
hard
them
way.
a way
Yes.
not to be ruled by their.
You know, it is, as I told you, it's very simple. It is so simple, so it's difficult to tell about it, because it's a decision. Again, you have to make a decision. Try hardly not to, every time you feel scared, you have to remember it will not kill you. When you're afraid, it will not kill you.
Do not fear.
Yeah, do not fear. And when you are getting away from that mind, and if you're not trying to have control on everything, and just let things come to you and let things happen, you can be in the balance all the time, and you will be happy all the time. I think
that's a good way to put it.
It is.
I think it's a good way to put it.
It's very important.
I think what you're saying is controlling is an issue. Allow it to let go.
Yes.
And allow things to happen and take their... Of course you have to work yourselves in everything in life, but not to necessarily to control. I think that's what you're saying. To be free.
Yes.
Your mind to be free.
Yes, you have to get the way, to find the way in compassion. When you are not having control, you can feel compassion, real compassion, because compassion is something you cannot make compassion. You can work on it to feel compassion, but it is growing. It's coming up. When you well, let's talk about love too, because what is love? Love is something happening. You cannot make love. No, you can't, because it's something growing.
So love is another word of compassion.
Yes, you can really feel the love inside you when you are leaving your mind, when you are getting.
Very good.
Yes,
I understand.
And yes,
I think this is a fantastic note to end this interview. Viewers, it's been a great pleasure. It's been insightful and knowledgeable to talk to Damaris and to discover her meanings of life and her work, which helps so many people. Thank you, Damaris. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time and teaching us. Thank you.
I hadn't slept for 7 years, more than 2 hours and totally every night. And when I was here, the first night after, I slept like a baby about 6 hours.
I have more silence inside me. It's more peaceful.
You can see some things I don't know about you that the psychologist can't. I don't know if it's supernatural or just super senses, kind of. She just senses you. She gets inside you, kind of. That's the feeling you get. And she also has what you call it, seen some of my future. And most of what she has said has come true.
Recently I became ill with the cancer disease for 2 years ago.
Yes.
and she has helped me a lot through that.
Did you go through normal medical?
Yes, I did at first,
Yes.
but then I came here because my body and my mind was so weak after it, and it has really helped me a lot with the yoga and the meditation. And the chemotherapy does not help anything on your body and mindset, so it was really necessary to come here and get those two paths like intertwined again.
I feel freedom when I'm here, and she's helping me a lot and put some words on things that I haven't said out loud to anyone, and that she helped me with. She opened your brain and your heart, and she looks in you and see the best things in you and guides you on the way to more freedom and more life.
It feels some hot and it helped me some time.
So you can feel the energy.
Yes,
I did. Physical feeling.
Yeah, yes.
By she putting her hands there.
They put a hand on my neck. Yeah. Yes, and help.
I'm so very glad that we have this place here on Bornholm, because it's a little island and it's very good for us.
She's a special person.
Yes.
She can do special things. She said that many people can learn that things if they do meditation and do mantra, and if they have the discipline. We normal people can do much of that she does. She loved the world, and she can do something about it that we normal people can't see every day.
She can translate God's words to me, so I can understand it.
Damaris, what is your message to the people watching this program?
My message is that I believe that all people around the world can learn how to pray, how important it is to pray. Wherever you are, wherever you have been, it's possible to change the world. Also, how to learn to meditate, to get peaceful inside. We can all learn, we can all be better if we want to.
Damaris, I ask you the last question, which has fascinated me throughout this journey of discovery. Who is Damaris?
I'm just the same as you are, Feroz. I'm passing through.
Thank you, Damaris.